Welcome to the CobraCast with the Prez and VP. For this episode, we would like to thank these valued partners.
Hi there, my name's James. I'm a physiotherapist here at Waverley Park Physiotherapy Centre. I've had several years of private practice experience, which has given me a good knowledge base for treating pretty much every condition in your body, from the head down to your feet. I'm also a current physiotherapist at the Box Hill Hawks Football Club, and one of my key areas is actually managing and treating sports injuries. I also have a key interest in pre- and post-operative rehabilitation, and so I look forward to giving you a thorough assessment and management of your condition and getting you back kicking all your goals. Cheers.
So, I'd like to welcome former President Phil Dickson to the CobraCast. He's a former president, former coach, former player of Sandown. If there was a position to be filled, Phil filled it. So, thank you for joining us, Phil.
Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate the opportunity to join you guys in this unique podcast.
Yes. All right. Thank you. So we'll get straight into it. We'll modify some of our questions. Obviously, they're mainly for players, but So how long was your playing career as a footballer?
As a footballer, I think I played from. No, I don't think. I know. I played from under 10s till I was 33 years old. 33. So without a break.
Yeah, and then
I had a few comebacks with Sandown. I played a couple of games with the old guys, playing Super Rules at Bayside, I think it was, or something like that. So, yeah, I played my last game 3 years ago. In the twos.
Twos, yeah.
Yeah.
2 years ago? Yeah.
2 years ago. And that, in the last game in the twos, tore a hamstring, and that was when I said, yeah, this is really it.
So you tore your hammy that game as well?
Yeah.
As well as Ange doing his knee?
No, that was the year before when Ange and I played together.
Yeah, okay.
The year after I played.
Yep.
When Fat was coaching the twos.
Okay, yep.
So, and we played the last game at home.
That's right.
Yes. So, tore a hamstring in that game, and that was when I decided, the body really cannot put up with the rigours of football.
Yep, that's fair enough. And so when did you first come down to Sandown? What year was that?
It'd be when Dicko went down there, and I'm not sure of the actual year, but it might have been 2008 or something like that. When he went down there, I've always been at the football when Dicko's played, from when he was playing Auskick. So I took up an Auskick coach.
Yep. When
he got interested in football, and then he became part of North Vale, and I was the runner from under 9s for his sides until he went to under 19s at Clayton. So I was the runner for every year that he played football in that time. And then he had a year out because he went to Mazenod briefly, tore a quad or something, and was out for the year. And then a year later, he turned up at Sandown. So always interested in my kids, follow them everywhere. So he went to Sandown, so did I.
Yep. And you started out helping out as the runner again at Sandown, and then?
Oh, no, just a spectator to start with, but more than willing to help out match day, doing goal umpire, runner, timekeeper, all that type of stuff. Just for the first couple of years, because it was a pretty well-run club back then, and they had a lot of volunteers. but got more involved as I don't know, when was it? I was still just spectating, but BP was general manager, not president, and Mick was in his first year of coaching, and I watched Matt play in the seconds, and the seconds played in the finals, and I just watched that seconds game in the finals where they lost and just thought, a couple of moves here and there, they could have won that. And so I threw my hat in the ring to be coach of the twos. And fortunately or unfortunately, depends how you look at it, they accepted my application, and I was made coach of the seconds or the reserves at Sandown Cobras, something I'm very proud of to having done that in 2011. So that was my first official role at Sandown.
Yep, and that was quite a successful tenure. Unfortunately, didn't win the ultimate prize, but
no,
had two pretty
home and away,
seasons.
really good.
Yeah.
Just couldn't deliver in finals, unfortunately. Still eludes me why we couldn't, but I could make a lot of excuses, injuries and unavailabilities and things like that, and just I don't know. Anyway, we move on.
All right. So, who has been the best player you've played alongside, and then who's the best player you've coached?
Best player I've played alongside. I played alongside Darren Mullane, but he was the guy with the most ability that I've ever seen. But the best player I've played alongside was probably David Wen, a ruckman. I'm very old school ruckman, and he was one of those guys who always looked after everyone who was smaller than he was, which was basically everyone in the team. And I remember a day we were playing Oakley when I was playing at Dandenong, and he just went at everyone. And there was a guy who gave me a backhander, and when he just cleaned him up, and he was just the ultimate team man and would do anything for all the players on the field on his side, and he would hurt anyone else.
Yeah, sounds like a good guy to play alongside.
Oh, yeah.
So what clubs did you play at, Phil, in your day?
I played at Emmanuel in the Southern Churches Football League. I played 220 games there. I played 3 years at Dandenong in the VFA, and then I went back to Emmanuel again. So I was basically a two-club player as a senior player. I played my junior footy in the was the Bentley Youth Club League, I think it was, way back then. So, yeah, long time ago. But senior footy with Emmanuel and Dandenong, and that was it.
Did you have any pre-game suspicions when you played?
Suspicions?
Or routine? Just a
routine,
yeah. For big games, I'd play some music to listen to before and this is before the days of iPhones, so I used to have to take
ghetto box.
A Walkman. No, basically a Walkman, so a CD, and the music I listened to get me. I wouldn't say pumped up, but to a certain level was Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Fanfare for the Common Man. If you haven't heard it, listen to it.
I've never heard of that in
my
life.
Come Greg, you have to now, I reckon.
Listen to it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
All right, so moving away from your football career, let's talk about your inspiration a bit.
Let's do that, yes.
All right, so your AFL team, do you support?
Yeah, the Saints.
And favourite Saints player of all time?
Robert Harvey.
Robert Harvey, it's a good one. Do you play any other sports?
I played cricket when I was, from probably 14 years old till I was about 20, 24, 25, something like that. I was, I would refer to myself as a tearaway fast bowler. I used to open the bowling for the Emmanuel again. So I played football and cricket for Emmanuel. As far as other sports, I played golf. Love golf.
All right. And so who's the biggest sporting hero outside of football? Any other sport? Who's that?
Biggest sporting hero? There's a good question. Probably back in the day, Greg Norman.
Oh,
yeah. He was. I went and saw him a few times at the Masters at Huntingdale, and he's just an unbelievable golfer. He's not as tall as you think. He's not even 6 foot, I don't think. But some of the shots I saw him play when he was in trouble at Huntingdale, I saw him at Huntingdale 3 or 4 times, and just amazing to watch him play. And he could interact with the crowd as well. So, sporting hero of mine, absolutely.
If there was a movie getting made on the life of Phil Dickson, who's the actor you want to play young Phil Dickson?
Oh, the young Phil Dickson, not the old Phil Dickson.
Oh, we want to get the Twilight years.
Yeah, Twilight years, yes.
But the highlights. Who do you want playing?
Who do I want playing? I'm going to think of actors now. Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, fair enough.
There you go. I haven't got the goatee, but he's my type of guy.
Do you have any secret talents, Phil?
Secret talents?
Yes, that maybe anybody at the footy club might not know about.
Well, a lot of people see me down. Well, since I've been down at the footy club, I've always turned up in business wear. I was a tradie way back. So
okay, hold up.
What trade?
Wait a minute. Sorry, what?
I started my working career as an apprentice fitter and turner.
Ah.
So qualified as a tool maker, and after 6 or 7 years just went, I can't work in a factory. So got a night school diploma in electronics and moved into the IT industry, and there you go.
There we go, learning something.
Actually, never knew that.
There you go.
A guilty pleasure TV show or movie. So when you're sitting there on a Sunday afternoon with the beautiful old First Lady and you want to chuck on a film or a TV show that no one knows that you quite enjoy, is there one?
Is there one? Not really. No. I still want to get back to Game of Thrones because I haven't watched it all. I've watched the first 3 series. That's it.
Fair enough. It's not worth watching the last
3
anyway. So
3 more series than I have. So.
Oh, there you go.
Have you watched the Tiger King yet?
I watched the first episode of that and went, "What the hell is this?" Carol Baskin.
Watch it.
Really?
Watch it.
Yeah, well, you need to watch a couple more episodes before we can ask the next question then. So
yeah, probably.
You got any? You a fan of any good conspiracy theories? What's your favourite conspiracy theory?
I like the conspiracy theory about Kennedy being shot. So I don't believe for a second it was Lee Harvey Oswald who shot Kennedy.
No, I'm a fan of that one. So who's your suspicions lie with?
Oh,
The mob?
no, mine's CIA.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you right now, Rifty, once we get Phil's son, Dicko, on board, I'd love to sit in the room with them and discuss conspiracy theories. Correct? They'd have two very different opinions on a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is Dicko the reason you like to debunk conspiracy theories?
It makes sense.
Could be a little bit of that, but no, we have robust discussions.
Well, fair enough.
I can imagine you would.
He is somewhat opinionated, and I don't often bend over to those opinions.
One sporting event you'd love to go to, so I'm guessing maybe the Masters.
Yeah, I can't get it down to one. I'd love to go to a Super Bowl, and I'd love to go to the Masters. Yes. Yeah. So between those two, either one of those would make my year, life even sensational to be at either of those.
So obviously,
yes.
Go ahead. Obviously, I was saying about you were the president before Rifty took over. What was your, what you feel is your biggest achievement when you were president of the Sandown Cobras?
I think when I took over from Zane, we were in a lot of debt. We didn't have any sponsors. I think we had maybe 3 or 4 sponsors. I think the thing I hang my hat on was bringing people onto the committee who could do the right things. So you two guys were on committee. When I became president, I asked you to come on and do your roles. I got Powley on board as vice president, and I think the first year, the way we turned the club around, even though we didn't win on the ground, we turned the club around off field. We cleared a lot of debt, and we got a lot more sponsors in the door because we were offering them something which we hadn't been doing before. We were just asking for businesses to give us money without offering them anything back. So I think the biggest thing I can say as president of Sandown for 2 years is we turned it around from being a charity case to being a club that could offer something back to the community if they gave us something. So we became partners with businesses in the community, and we became more a family club. We encouraged the girls to come down. We encouraged everyone to be there on Thursday nights. We got that first year, we got a lot of players back that had left. So I'm not saying that was me. I'm saying that was the whole committee that we put together at that time. So very happy that we were able to do that in the 2 years that I was there. And I have to say, from what's happened this year, even though the times we're in right now where there is no football, you two guys have led this club magnificently. So you've just stepped up unbelievably. Like the campaign on Facebook that you ran at Dog, amazing, just amazing. And it gets the Sandown name out there. And there's a lot of people who know about Sandown now who had no idea who we were before. So to you two guys, I take my hat off, and you have more than stepped into the role that was vacant when I left, and I was just the precursor to you guys. So very well done.
We appreciate that, but we also feel that your time at the helm was set us up quite easily to, and we've, things like what are going on this year. I think if we hadn't have been able to do what we did the last couple of years and clear all that debt and get us into this position, I think these times would be a lot tougher trying to, maintain a club that is in a lot of debt. So we thank you for the work you did the last couple of years and sort of creating the focus of where the club needed to right some wrongs and not just keep trying to, sign star players and do all these other things that most clubs are, or, and what we've done in the past where we just keep trying to get money to pay players and keep trying to win on the field. I think this year has definitely gave us some reassurance that we did the right thing off the field to, that we'll come out of this all right and we won't be in a position where once the season starts we're, that far behind money-wise. So
yeah, totally agree. You have to get your off-field right before you can get your on-field. So you need to know what you've got in the bank and what you can afford. And we have a core group at our club who are just amazing with each other. And as we say, we're the Cobra family, and anyone who buys into that will not leave. And they'll always be there for the club, whether they're there weekly or not. It's like Macca. He's been away for a couple of years, but he's come back as a sponsor this year. And he's well on board. So people who've been in the Cobra family and embraced it will always be part of the Cobra family. So, and that's something that we need to continue, and it's something that I tried to do, and you guys are carrying on. So it's that's what it's all about, basically.
And we again we thank you for the last couple of years, and we thank you for joining us tonight in this. And it's pretty much we can wrap it up with that, I think.
You can't probably better finish than that, mate.
Well, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to be a part of it. And from the First Lady and I, Happy Easter to everyone.
Yeah, same to you.
Thanks, Phil. Thanks, Gary.
I must say, sorry, the ex-First Lady and ex-President. Yes.
It's all right.
Cheers, guys. Have a happy Easter.
Yeah, you too,
Thanks,
mate.
Phil.
Thanks. Take care.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching the CobraCast with the Prez and VP. And if you need somebody to talk to, why not contact New Life Psychology in Berwick? They are now taking phone appointments. Or you could head to otlr.com.au for tips and info. And we are supporters of the Towards Zero's TAC campaign. Head to towardszero.vic.gov.au for information, because zero is the only acceptable number.